Friday the 13th, part 3, in 3D, everyone. Hey everybody, this is John Franklin Reviewer here, and I'm continuing my Friday the 13th series. Now hopefully you got a chance to watch the first two, but if you're only jumping aboard right now on this third one here, just to kind of give a little brief thing here is that most of these are very old movies, especially the one I'm reviewing right now here too. So there will be, like throughout these videos, there will be spoilers and all that. So what exactly is Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D about him? Well, it's actually about a group of friends who want to enjoy the weekend in a cabin in the woods. And of course, Jason is still continuing his reign of terror in this film here too. So what is it that I liked about the film? Well, let's get the violence and the deaths out of the way. First off, I want to say kudos on the deaths there. I really liked what I saw. Really enjoyed a lot of the deaths. Some of them were so-so. Some of them, of course, you get the aftermath, and it's like, you know. So I'll just go through these kind of briefly here. One of the ones I really liked was there was a guy in the bathroom. He comes out of the bathroom, he hears a noise and all that. He opens up a closet. There was Jason in the closet, and there was a hatchet through the chest. He just pulls him in. Another one that I really liked, I think some people will definitely disagree with me. The red hot poker through one of the women's, through her body. I don't know if it's just the camera angle or what it really was, but somehow it was a real good one there. Not my personal favorite, but just a real good one there. These next two, I will say, are kind of neck to neck, that I could, one of these ones being the best one. But I think the one I got to go with the runner-up, if I was really going in order on these here, is there's a guy who ends up, Jason pretty much comes down, chops this guy in half. Well, the thing is that they show a little bit of him, like pretty much Jason coming down with the machete and the guy falling, because he was actually hanging on, he was actually walking on his hand, and Jason just comes out of nowhere and takes this guy down here. So the thing was that they do show the aftermath where his girlfriend was just coming out of the shower, she was reading a magazine, Fangora, drops of blood starts coming down on her chest here, and then she looks up and there is his body pretty much on the ceiling there, hanging there, and his body cut in half there. And you can definitely tell this was a badass Jason just by the shot of that one there too. But with her kill, I believe she gets a knife through the neck. Big rip off of the Kevin Bacon one of Friday the 13th there. So I was like so on that one. But my all-time favorite, and I know a lot of people do agree about this one, gets his head crushed in and his one eyeball popping. Now you can tell it's fake, but at the same time just how freaky that really was too. So that has to be my all-time favorite. So I did have 4 really good deaths to talk about in this one, at least my opinion. So let's talk about the characters here. Well, most of the characters I did like, but I really only want to talk about 2 or 3 of them here. I want to talk about Chris, who, spoiler alert here, is your final girl. I actually definitely put her in the good category. Jason, played by Richard Booker. First time that we actually get a chance to see that mask, we see this new actor playing Jason, because the other guy from 2 didn't want to come back and do it. So the thing was, I think he did a really good job. Like I said, he was pretty violent when he really needed to be. Honestly, I can't really wait till we talk about part 4 there too on violence. But I really think that this guy did a really fun job, really good with what he had to portray of Jason and all that. I thought he did a really wonderful job on that. Now I mentioned about, okay, there were other characters, but a lot of them were unfortunately not that memorable. That, I really don't remember their names and all that. Most of them, like I said, did a really good job except one. Now, this is where we're going to go into the negative side. The character Shelly. The most annoying character, maybe in the whole series, but at least in this movie, he's the prankster. Now, if you're a horror fanatic, a lot of times you do get the prankster, and a lot of times I feel like maybe 7 out of 10 times the prankster's the one who gets the best death of the movie. With Shelly, not really. We actually see the aftermath where his neck is slit open, and the thing was that, trying to, breathe and all that. One of the characters sees him and says, "Hey, nice makeup job," because earlier in the movie he pretended he got killed and he really didn't, because that's, again, being the prankster and all that. It's like, where was the payoff there? I really wanted to see, like, Jason maybe just cut off his head. Instead of just, like, slitting his throat and all that, chop off his fucking head in the barn there. That would have been something that would have been nice there. Another thing that really did bother me a little bit was Chris and her former boyfriend, which unfortunately I can't even think of her name right now. The thing was, she starts telling the story when she was younger. She talks about that she was in the wood, she got into a big fight with her family and all that, and she thought her dad was coming to rescue her because they were so worried. Well, it turned out it ended up being Jason, and she talks about, I don't know, I was starting to struggle with this guy, the next thing I know I was in my own bed. So it sounds like that she's trying to say that Jason raped her, and I don't know, I don't see Jason being that. He's the guy that, he doesn't really, seems like he doesn't care about sex. He actually, if he sees someone having premarital sex, boom, here he comes to go kill you. But just him having sex and raping someone, it just didn't make any sense. I felt like that there could have been something different where, he tried to kill me once before and blah, blah, blah kind of thing. But, it was just the way the story unfolded with that. He's just dragging her away in the woods, and that's all it kind of was then. I really didn't like that there. So another thing I got to talk about, and this is where this is going to drop down the stars a little bit for me, is that it was another ending dream sequence. The only difference was it was a big ripoff of the very first one, not the second one. The only difference was in the first one it was a little boy Jason pulling Alice under the water in the boat. Well, with Chris, she's in a boat, and for some reason, Mrs. Voorhees, somehow her head's attached back under her body here, and pulls her under, and then the next thing you know is that Chris, the cops are there, and they actually get her, and she starts going, like, insane. Now, I gotta put that in the positive there. The dream sequence negative, but I gotta go back to the positive real quick, because I kind of like where she already went, she was already going crazy, when she was a teenager, when Jason may have done what he did to her, or just whatever we think he may have done to her there. But the whole thing is that she just goes crazy, and I think that the only other thing I would have loved to see, and who knows, maybe it would have been too much to do it, but maybe actually see her at a hospital or a mental institution with a straitjacket on or something like that. But, you know what, her being pulled away and going crazy, I actually liked that. I think some people are not a fan of the way that ended there. I thought the very minute or two was actually good for me there. And then the final negative I got to put on here is the barn. Now, most people do get killed in this barn. We get a few people that do probably get killed in literally the cabin itself, or even outside the cabin. Now, here's the thing. I'm more neutral with this, that they tried something different, and I'm going to say this. They really didn't fail, but they didn't succeed with me on what they were trying to do, because it was like all of a sudden most of the thing, it was a barn. Summer camp doesn't seem like that you have a barn, it seems like that. I don't know, maybe a shed, maybe like a small shed could have been, and this one also had like an outhouse and all of that, but it could have been a lot better. But now going to my rating here, like I said, I'm going to kind of drop this a little bit down because of the dream sequence. That was another, like, just a big ripoff of the first one there. And the second one, I told, go back if you haven't seen that one and go check out my opinion about that dream sequence there. But my rating, I am going to go 2.5 out of 4 stars. So have you seen Friday the 13th Part 3 in 3D? And what exactly is your opinion about it? Give me a comment down below. Do you agree with any of the stuff I say? Do you disagree with me? I'll be kind of curious when you guys write your comments down there. So thank you guys so much for watching another review here, or another review series. And as always, stay awesome.